Good evening. Hello. How are you
So,
all doing? Hello. Hello. I'm waving. Someone requested to see my feet immediately. Sure.
don't do it.
Find me on Venmo, bro. I've my price is low.
You say your face is low.
My price is low. You can get feet pics for nothing, bro. I'm talking like
Yeah, buddy.
$20 a pop.
Not bad, not
I'll
bad.
I'll I'll step in a dog poop for 50. I don't care.
I almost do it for free every day when I clean up dog shit.
Look at me. I've got cards. Professional cards. You wrote a book? You wrote a full
Yeah.
book.
Actually, shit, that's the wrong one. It's in the smaller one.
Um, First and foremost, are you in your garage?
Yeah.
I'm in my garage, the new and improved garage. As you can see, I'm in front of my new setup. Very new, very official.
Yeah, I put up some curtains today.
Need to hide the old paint cans.
Yeah, which are right there.
You should get like
Right
you get like a big black metal black paint font thing behind you.
I thought about it. Like I thought about doing my own with just like that Nerdicide logo I did.
I'd be up for it. As you can see,
Yeah.
there's many Cyclopses behind me, most of which you can't see, but I just got the best box in the mail. My mom sent me a box, mostly to send me 3 bags of Snyder's pretzels,
Nice.
which I'm excited about. But it also had my latest installment of what I call Wes flicks, even though they're not movies, which is Wes begrudgingly giving up his cassettes slowly, one box like every 6 months or so. I just got one. Let me go through these. These are fucking bangers, all bangers.
Have at it.
We got Pantera, Evolve the Display of Power on cassette. This actually is a really expensive cassette. Anything Pantera on cassette is expensive, so that's a banger.
Hang on one second. While
Okay.
you're talking about expensive cassettes and shit,
Uh-huh.
my older brother Dave sent me a message earlier in Messenger. He had gone to the flea market and he was like, "Hey, I just picked this up at a flea market, and it's a picture disc of King Diamond's Abigail album."
Uh-huh.
And like one side is like the album cover, and the other side it's him on stage. That fucking picture disc goes for like $200, and
Yeah,
he just picked it up for like nothing at a flea market.
you'd be surprised. Like, well, I'm getting questions here. Animated series Cyclops VHS figure. I'm gonna show off the VHS figures later if we have time. But yeah, that's the one that I'm waiting for. I guess. I mean, everyone's. Anyways, I'm thrown off. Continuing, we
Go on.
got tape number 2, Brittany Fox,
Hi.
self-titled. This is a banger tape. I love the tapes with the black back.
Oh yeah, dude.
The
Yeah.
texture. Oh man, that's what I'm here for. This one, Def Leppard, On Through the Night. This is not their most known album, but now I own it. Banger, Y&T Open Fire, baby. Y&T on cassette. Good luck
Wow.
finding that. You'll never will. This one I'm not as excited about because you can get these anywhere. This is a Bob Seger tape.
I'm pretty sure you can like walk
is,
outside right now and trip over one of those.
This is Live Bullet. It's quality, but this so excited when I saw this. Fucking great white on your knees with the
Damn, dude.
not so subtle cover.
That's cool.
This shit is fucking great. This one I actually used to borrow from him all the time, which is Steve Vai. What is this album called? Passion and Warfare. It had a song on there about like he's like playing guitar in school or something fucking ridiculous. But I used to love it as a kid. Steve Vai. Hello, Operation
Nice.
Mindcrime by Queensryche, one of their best
That's
albums.
fun.
Great fucking. I was like, I just opened this right before I got on, so I was like, so just Warrant. Can't go wrong
I
with
haven't seen that in
fucking
a while.
Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich.
Oh yeah.
Warrant underrated, and then of course, Twice Shy, baby. Wow, pow, pow, pow. And then last, but probably last, but again, what is the date on this shit? This is crazy. This is an old ass tape. This is Aerosmith Get Your Wings. This is a 1974 cassette. So if it plays, I'd be really fucking surprised. This is kind of tape where you're like afraid to play because it's just like, is it gonna just turn to dust?
Yeah.
Because like the 1991s play fine, but like these fuckers, the 70s and 80s, man. Anyways,
What's on that album?
nothing. Oh, Same Old Song and Dance. That's the single. Train Kept a Rolling. That's another.
Right.
Lord of the Thighs. Spaced Woman of the World. Pandora's Box. Yeah, it's basically Same Old Song and Dance. But 74. That's it. I'm excited because like my cassette collection is really coming along as far as like late 80s, early 90s dad rock is concerned. Anyways,
That Vulgar cassette's fucking dope, dude.
yeah, that's a good one. As I've tried to look at like Pantera, there's a couple bands like if you try, which is so fucking hilarious. If you try to buy like a Deftones cassette on eBay, you're gonna pay $50 for any of them, which is so stupid because the sound quality is not good, but you're paying for something that people threw away. So it's like there's low quantities of it, and the people who have it are people who are not willing to give it up. So it's just one of those things.
If they're not dumb.
I'm drinking out of this. Where am I? Tonight's Nerdicide, sponsored by Being Poor. I am poor. I'm drinking Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, which is actually delicious.
Oh, can you even read that? There we go.
How's your COVID?
I'm having a summer shandy.
Shout out COVID. How's your COVID?
It fucking sucks, dude. It fucking sucks.
Way to get it so late in the game.
I know, right? Like, I seriously thought for a while that I was just like, at best, like, probably times where I was just like asymptomatic and probably spreading it after we had to like go to work and shit. But yeah, like I just like one day before I left work, I was like, my fucking chest hurts a little bit. Like that's kind of normal for the way I smoke and shit. But like it was just there was something about it where it's like, I don't like this. And then that next morning, I got up and I went to work, and I just felt weak as a kid. Like I had like a delivery that had already got there, and I was trying to put it away, and I just kept stopping because I would like pick shit up off the floor and like put it on my table, and I was I can't fucking do this, and so I had said something to Jeb. And he came in and he like threw a fucking COVID test on the table. And I was like, yeah, I'll fucking take that. And like 15 minutes, whatever, waiting for it. The little fucking, it was faint. Like it was very faint. Like it took an entire 15 minutes to show like this faint line. And I was like, well, that sucks. And he was like, fucking go home. So I left. And then it just got progressively worse from there.
Yeah.
Not all of the symptoms hit at the same time. Like it was kind of like a day-to-day thing where like yesterday I just had like uncontrollable diarrhea. Like I was just shitting constantly. I had actually planned on trying to go to work yesterday, and because like Tylenol and stuff was like helping with my joints. My joints felt like they were like broken glass.
Yeah, I had that problem too. I felt like I felt more like my skin was hurting.
That too.
Touching
that's
my
a
skin
fun
was like,
nightmare, isn't it?
it's just like weird, like someone just like kind of clawing at you anytime something touches you, like nothing. I was not comfortable in bed or
Yeah.
shirt, pants. I was just Rosina actually had it worse than I did, but we
And
had a
that's the
good
thing
day.
too. Like all I wanted to do was lay down, but laying down felt so awful. But like standing up was like a million times worse, and it was like
My
it's okay.
my hack was just downing Benadryl. I was just downing Benadryl to help me sleep, so I would just be so groggy. I'd be tired all the time.
I took a bunch
April.
of like really strong like allergy medicine
Hmm.
to like help like open my head up a little bit, whatever, and that helped out a little bit, but it was definitely down to like Tylenol and shit like that to like
Yeah,
not feel so.
nothing was helping, and then it was just like one day it was gone, like everything was gone. I was like, oh, okay, this
Well,
is
like
good.
I woke up today and I was like, yeah, I feel kind of good, whatever. It feels like kind of like the tail end of a head cold.
Hmm.
So I decided to try and smoke today, and I feel all right. I'll probably feel fucking awful tomorrow, but oh well.
Oh well, you
My thing
survived.
is I can't imagine how much worse this would have been if I hadn't been vaxxed and boosted twice.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
this
glad.
shit
Yeah,
sucked its own.
I'm glad I did. Because it's basically like you have all of it minus the coughing and the breathing shit, which is the part that really gets people pre-vaccination. So, yeah, I'm happy that I didn't have to deal with that. Definitely, but I am an anti-vaxxer now because I still got COVID after all those shots. And after one of the shots, I fainted and smashed my face. So I'm anti-vax. Never again. I'll just die. Anyways,
That's a silly stance, but okay.
it won't get me again. No more jabs for me.
Can't fool him twice, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not gonna faint again. Um, I'm ready to talk.
Oh shit! One thing you're gonna want to see this. Per our last discussion, you're gonna want to fucking see this.
Okay. Is it?
Our last stream. Do you remember what we talked about? Like the very, or was it the last one? No, it might have been two ago.
Bro, I don't remember yesterday.
You'll remember when I show you though.
Oh shit, you have a copy, a physical copy.
Yeah, I fucking found it.
Oh my god. Play that
And
shit.
apparently,
Get West canceled.
it had been sitting out for quite a while because I found it with the greatest of ease today. I like moved a couple movies today and I was like, oh, hey, what's that? And I pulled it off and I was like, I know exactly what this is before I even looked at it. And I flipped it over and I was like, fuck yes, I found it. So I must have gotten it out a long time ago. Forgot the last time we talked about it. So
We'll have a
there it
screen.
is.
We'll have a screening party when I come to Ohio.
There you go. That's what I was thinking.
Make sure that West comes so he can watch
Well, I
himself.
was going to say, maybe, I think they have one.
Well, I'm sure they do. There was a lot
No,
of time.
like the, like the outdoor projector
Oh, God.
fucking thing. That would be fun.
Definitely
That
got to
would be
get Tim to go though. Tim would be the most
because
important.
I know Beck has one too.
Tim would be the most important get to come watch.
Oh, then we might as well just fucking cancel it because he won't go. He might go.
I'm definitely going to get a ticket this week. I just haven't figured out the dates, but we'll talk about that later.
Right.
Let's get into some. This is my most important card. Prey? Question mark. I think we start. Let's just start with Prey, and then we'll
Okay.
work through some of this other stuff. And I got it all kind of listed here. The general consensus of this movie is that it's great, and I agree. And what I really liked about it, there was a lot of things I really liked about it, but my favorite thing was that um, it wasn't because people are like, oh, it's a lot like the first one. It's like a reimagining, almost a similar. It is and it isn't because
Yeah.
it's what Arnold was not like a hunter. He was more like a trained killer, an assassin type character, a soldier.
He was a mercenary. He was. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is all and what they've done in other, like in more unfortunate movies like AVP, is where they actually show like these are younger predators training or whatever, are trying to get better at the thing. So you have like basically like two parallel hunter stories. I liked that it was about, that's my favorite thing. I liked that it's about a character that wants to be a great hunter and wants to prove those skills, and this is like the most unfortunate way to find that out. Um, and of course, like all of the Comanche stuff was great. The fact that they hired all of these actual people and they used the languages, and I haven't done any research. I know there's been like some people saying there's inconsistencies and stuff with like stuff, but I was like, there's also like a grain of salt with anything in a movie, because again, it's not real. And also like, because like if you go, oh well, that's historically inaccurate, and like for some stuff you should go, okay, yeah, it's fucked up. But for a movie about a fucking 7 foot tall alien, historical inaccuracies aren't really my biggest concern. The most important thing of any movie is, do I believe that this is the reality in this universe that they're showing me? And I totally did. I thought she was like a realistic struggling character with talent. She had talent and she was figuring it out. Great action sequences, very John Wicky at times. The Predator is very, very John Wicking the way he kills people, which I thought was really funny but cool. And the Predator himself, a great different Predator, not just the look, but his whole attitude, which was just like even more of a dick than previous Predators. Because
so I literally just watched Predators.
I just
like
watched. You know what I watched last night was Predator 2. That's what I watched last night.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of flipped a coin between those two to watch before doing this, to kill some time. And it's like, I think the last time I watched Predators, I didn't finish it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just finish it.
3 or 4 months ago, I think, at night, real late at night.
Yeah. Probably around the same fucking time I watched it too. That's weird. But it's not my favorite. It is what it is. But that Berserker one, like the big like final fucking Predator in that, kind of looks like they used a little bit of that face on the new one. I don't know that that's what they were trying to do or whatever, but it does have its similarities. And I thought that was kind of cool because in initially hearing like people getting upset, like when are they gonna stop changing the Predator designs? Like just fucking make it look like a Predator. And it's like, I've seen the Predator.
It does look like a Predator. Like, I'm sorry.
I watch the Predator like once a fucking month. Like I know what the Predator fucking looks like.
If that thing walks in,
I don't find something.
Oh, that's a Predator. It's like,
yeah.
Even though like they have different helmets, and they set that up from the very beginning, like from Predator 2, that they have different masks and different dresses. So.
And that shit's awesome. It's all in the fucking comic books. They have different fucking helmets and different fucking armor and shit like that.
I like that because.
But I do like the Predator design in this one. And Predator.
Yeah, like what they were doing with AVP, which is like something that they did in the comics and like video games and all that stuff. Stuff I really didn't get into, but like I'm aware of it. Is like because the Predator's so cool looking, they wanted to make. A lot of times it's like they're like teamed up with people, they're like heroic. This goes back to which goes back to like Predator 2, where this Predator is a piece of shit, like just a pure dickhead. The fact that he turned his cloaking on to fight a wolf, which is just a big dog. Immediately I was like, well, fuck this guy. Like he's a piece of shit. Like, but it's one thing to fight a Jamaican drug lord in your fucking like, but like the dog.
See, I've heard that argument as well, where it's like, oh, he fucking had to cloak against a wolf. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was he's such.
I thought of it as like it's his first time here. He doesn't know what any of this shit is, so he's kind of testing the limits, whatever. Plus, it cut down on like having to show his entire look out in the open in the middle of fucking, like early evening, whatever it was. But so one, it was either like they were trying to say he's unsure of what he's up against, so he's going to stay hidden, or two, they were just like really lazy and didn't want to do like
I think,
full
yeah, I mean that
full show.
that's actually a good way to look at it that I wasn't thinking of. I was just thinking, oh, this guy's a cocksucker, piece of shit. What a dickhead! He's gonna fucking kill his dog. I like that he was working his way up the food chain with the wolf, and then he killed a bear. The bear
Dude,
stuff was
that bear
cool.
fucking scene was like, I would have watched that movie if it was just that.
I only
Like,
wish that it was a real bear.
oh my god, that my only gripe about the entire shit is the CGI animals are so
Yeah,
bad.
they didn't look very good.
They look like cartoons.
They're on level with the She-Hulk CG, but a random woman just walked into my garage.
Awesome.
Awesome. But I again, I like that they did the Predator weaponry and kind of for the times, because it's the 1700s or whatever, and he didn't have a fucking blaster cannon on his hand or his shoulder. He didn't have the net thing. They didn't have all those things, or like which they just kept doing in movies, just making the hand knives just like, oh, this one's 3 foot long. Which they just I'll just make it bigger. Like, I don't know how that makes it.
We'll add more. We'll have them open up.
But I liked the look of him. I liked the thinner dreadlocks, which were cool.
Yeah, they didn't. That's a thing too that I thought was kind of a cool nod to it being like fairly early, or like it was his first hunt where he didn't have the jewelry in his dreads.
Yeah, because my favorite Predator designs are skinny Predators, which we'll talk about later. So I liked the look of this one because like the way they got bulked up at times in obviously the AVP movies, which are junk, and then like even in Predators, they were pretty hefty.
Yeah. Well, at least one.
Like they just look too bulky, and I like them thin. I think they look cooler that way. I liked his shield weapon. There was some great action sequences. The fucking action sequence with all of the French fur traders and stuff, which leads me to one of my other favorite parts is I liked that everybody got licks in. Like not only did the natives get licks in to show that they are actually skilled warriors. They weren't just immediate. They weren't like slashered off like Predator. Like Predator is like the second act is like when they reveal the Predator, it becomes a slasher movie at that point. Yeah. He's not fucking fighting them. He's just coming up behind him and just killing him. This was like, oh, this that's the fighting style of this Predator, the feral Predator, is that he's either naive or new or like cocky and aggressive and not worried, but like even the French traders with their fucking little sad guns, they got shots in, they set up those traps and stuff. I
think they did kind of make him a little cocksure of just being like, I know I'm bigger than all of these people, and just kind of underestimated, like you said, their weaponry and stuff like that. So they were able to get some good shots in and shit. But also kind of, you can't learn what they're capable of unless you let them do it. So he kind of takes on some of that.
Yeah.
Just to see what they're capable of, maybe.
Yeah, and I was waiting I was like, oh, when are these white people going to show up? Because I was like, once they showed the trap, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, what would be? I was like, oh, it was probably French because the fur trade. Once they showed the buffalo or whatever skinned, I was like, oh, it's French. Dirty French, dirty, filthy French.
Sweaty, dirty Frenchmen.
And I was like, okay, but I liked that they weren't just complete buffoons. Like they were, but they weren't. Like they had guns. There was a good idea to use them as like bait and like set this whole thing up for what they had going. And I liked
Yeah,
all
I like
that.
that it wasn't just like a cut and dry story where it was just her against the predator and that's all there was. The outside force that intermingles is like, well, fuck, if I don't stop, at least this predator thing, I gotta worry about these fucking cats coming through here. And like vice versa. It's just
Yeah.
like shit, now we're totally fucked.
And
Especially like the stuff with her brother, getting captured and like tortured and shit.
that that's that sequence again, and I knew it was gonna go one way. It was either gonna be the dog or the brother. Who are they gonna kill?
Shout out to that dog.
Yeah, animal rescue dog.
I want that dog.
The dog was it was a shelter dog in
Yeah.
California. Pretty
Yeah, I
impressive.
read that the other day. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Really
so
cool.
I was like, I don't know if they're gonna kill
To
the
to
dog.
have a fucking dog in a shelter that's like that trainable and fucking camera ready. Like what the fuck?
Crazy. Well, and like,
There's one scene where she's walking in through like into the village and the dog's in front of her and then they're kind of like almost side by side and it's just ahead a little bit but it keeps looking over the other way. I was like, oh, it's gonna look right at the fucking camera, isn't it? And it doesn't. But there's like it kind of took me out of it. It was like it's watching like people walk up behind it. And I was like, well, if I really want to willfully suspend disbelief here, people are walking by. It's watching these people walk by
there's
or
people
whatever.
all over, so it works.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I was glad the dog did that. I was actually hoping that the brother would survive, but I knew that that's the way because she's basically like as far as the hierarchy of her tribe,
right.
she replaces him in that sense. Um, and good stuff all around. Like that whole cast, fantastic. I really liked her character journey. I thought it was believable. I thought it was well done. I liked the quicksand scene, the mud scene.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a nice way to add some extra tension and the reality of what you're
And
doing.
it really, they did a good twist with that where it was like, oh shit, okay, so she's gonna cover herself in mud and fucking, hang out by these fucking sticks, and I've seen
Yeah,
this part. And they
they
didn't do
they
that.
didn't
Like,
do it.
not even close did they try to fucking do that. But they ended up pulling it back in a really cool fucking way. And
Yeah,
I was like, I'm done. You guys fucking won me over. Like, big time. Fucking won me over.
I I'm disappointed that this movie didn't get a theater release.
Seriously, I would have gone and fucking watched it.
I it definitely would have. I think I would have because I just like I feel like as a fan of the franchise, the only one I didn't see in the theater was Requiem. I saw the first AVP in the theater. I saw Predators in the theater.
I
I
think
saw
I did.
And so it's like I would have gone. I would have paid the money and gone, and it would have been a better experience than my fucking TV in my living room. But whatever, it was still enjoyable, and I I thought it was gonna be just okay. I really did, and then I ended up really liking it, really appreciating it. Um, and we could go on and on about what I want to talk about is like what do you think they should do now? Like, I was thinking about this because, like, obviously it's one of Hulu's biggest hits. Like, people are still
Right.
watching it. It's one of the biggest things that they've ever released on Hulu. So they have the option. You have the option to either do a theater release from it. Would you rather see like a direct sequel of that character, which they've never done? And
No, they haven't.
they've never done a direct one, which we'll talk about later, which I think is a mistake. And
I
it's
agree.
cool, but also a mistake. And or do you think they should just do more standalones and time periods, or do you think that?
More standalones for me. That's what I want to see.
But wouldn't you think at some point, like how many would you want to see before you go? Oh, I've seen this before. Now it's Egypt. Oh God, here we go. Now it's ancient Egypt. Oh, now it's what's it's Genghis Khan. He's gonna fight Genghis Khan.
Well, that's the thing. So they kind of tote that this one is the first time they came to Earth. So a lot of the like medieval shit
Yeah, they
Like
kind of
that's
fuck you
out
up.
the
They fuck
window.
you up at the end where they show the little thing of the ship. Oh, so they all just come back and massacre the tribe. Great
Well, of
movie.
course they do because that's how they got the gun back, supposedly. Um, honestly, that could go either way too, because they could have came back if it was the first time that they came. It could be the first time that they came down. She defeated it. They come down, and there's like a trading of things, like oh shit, you bested our first warrior. You guys are fucking crazy. Here's some stuff. And they're like, well, you can have this. And they give them that fucking gun. And who knows? But I agree with what you're saying. How many do you watch before you're like, yeah, I've seen this before?
Yeah. What I really,
Make one where the predator wins. Good guy fucking dies and the predator wins and he shoots off to his own fucking plane. Who cares?
I would like, I, I didn't give too much thought to this, but I really, what I've always wanted and I never got. My childhood fantasy movie was Predator 3 with fucking Arnold and Danny Glover team up. Why didn't I never get that movie? Put them like have them in a scenario where they end up on the Predator ship and it's like a Die Hard buddy comedy on the fucking ship, trying
There
to
you
get
go.
off, trying to get off the fucking ship. Those two guys just running around, doing like the back and forth, like 90s fucking bickering to each other, Tango and Cash style dialogue
How
with
can
each
you
other.
imagine too, like a military guy and then a cop, and like, oh, I'm a hard ass because I fucking ran the beat in the city, and then it's like I'm a hard ass because I fucking been in the trenches and
They
did it
both
in the fucking jungle.
they both bested a predator. You put them on a ship with like fucking 20 predators, and they got to get from point A to point B before whatever happens, and that's your movie. Like you just run it like a
Or
fucking
even that, like
icon.
you get to their fucking planet and they got like a gladiator fucking pit, and there's just like a bunch of fucking aliens in there that you gotta fucking fight besides the fucking predators.
Juggernaut says Prey was their first Predator movie. Oh wow, yeah, you definitely catch up. There, go
Yeah.
back and watch. I mean, Predator is one of the best action sci-fi movies of all time. One of the best scripts that of a movie that should not be so perfect, but it is perfect. Like just
What's awesome about it is it really is like the precursor to like From Dusk Till Dawn, where you're delivered into this movie and it's that movie
yeah,
until it's not. And then
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, guess what? You're in a different fucking movie now.
Yeah, it
And
basically goes from straight like action movie to a slasher horror film to an action sci-fi movie.
yeah.
It really does, and
So essentially every like 80s
it's
action movie you've
seamless.
ever seen almost to a fucking T, where it's like we're an elite group getting dropped in the middle of fucking nowhere. We have no idea what the fuck's going on. I
And they're
think we're
used,
being betrayed, but I don't fucking know. And then it's like, oh shit, this is just it's getting worse.
yeah, and and Predator 2 is not like that. Predator 2, which I like, is kind of just like a ride. You already know what you're getting yourself into, and they don't do what they do in Predator. It's like you know what this is, you know what's happening right from the get go, and then you're just basically like you're on a ride with that character until he survives it, which I appreciate. Um,
Yeah. That's just like a series of like, how can we make this worse for this guy? Like everything just progressively gets worse until the end of that fucking movie.
but when it comes to Prey, honestly, like I don't want a sequel to Prey. I really don't. I think
Uh,
it. I think. I think just leave it. And if you're gonna do more, because they're never gonna not make. They're gonna keep making Predator movies. There's always gonna be like somebody who goes, "We can make money off this because it's
mhm.
still a popular franchise." I mean, even the Predator, which is widely panned, made good money. It was just like so critically trash that everyone was like, "Well, we're not going to continue this." um, which we'll talk
Give me
about.
1 second. I gotta open this door up. It's hot as fuck in here. Give me 1 second.
Open it. Um, so I think my vote is probably more standalone Predator movies because I'm never gonna get my Arnold sequel, and I'm never gonna get my Danny Glover's really fucking old.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm never gonna get that movie, so I say
I mean, with today's de-aging technology, you might be able to get
it
it.
probably can't run.
Absolutely not.
Mm. There's potential for like new creative stuff, but will they do it or will they just like fall back into their old ways? We'll see. But it's a big hit, so I think no matter what happens, they're gonna go back to that director, and they're gonna be like, "What do you want to do next?" Because Hulu's gonna be like, "We want more people on. We want the attention. We want the streams." So they're gonna try to get another one made onto Hulu. As much as I would like to see it in the theater, and maybe who knows? Maybe they will be like Fox, or technically it's Disney. Disney owns the Predator. Predator is a Disney princess. So is the Xenomorph. All
Oh,
Disney,
yeah.
all Disney princesses now.
So I think where pretty much all of them succeed, except for like some of the newer ones, like the AVPs and shit, and the Predator, is there is not a single love story in any of the fucking movies.
Well,
You like
yeah.
like you have I can't remember her fucking name from the first one.
Well,
Like
they have a
she's
strange.
just yeah, but I mean she's just there. It's not like they're waiting to hook up or something.
Oh no, not
Or
like that. There isn't like an evolving romance with characters.
yeah. And
I mean,
then in
Predator
the new
has like the
one
guy and his
even
ex-wife or wife or ex-wife and their son or whatever. He's like the military guy or mercenary guy.
yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. The newer ones, I don't give a fuck. That's where they fail. Is they try to throw that shit in there, and it's fucking stupid.
Well, they don't
Um,
do that in AVP. AVP, like the girl becomes friends with the Predator. If they would
right,
have a
and
romantic
that's
relationship, that'd be a
kind
weird.
of shit out of the comic book with
Yeah.
Scar and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a thing. But the fact that this new one that Prey fucking avoids that as well. They didn't try to even kind of put that in there. Like there wasn't anybody from her tribe that she really gave a shit about, except for like family. And then like they didn't try to do like a young French fur trapper fucking guy for her to worry about her.
In the next one,
You know what I'm saying?
they'll
Like
do
that's
the
a road that they
Pocahontas
could have
script in the
taken.
next one.
Yeah, like that's the road they could have taken, and the fact that they just like steamrolled that, like fuck yourself, that's not a
Oh,
thing. We got a story to tell.
that was close.
Good job. They just made the fucking movie. They didn't try to throw a bunch of other extra shit in there that didn't need to be because it
Yeah,
doesn't really exist in the other ones. And
character story.
yeah, it's
They
it
had a
runs
character
down that
arc and they
road very
completed it.
nicely.
I'm not even fucking this lid. Fuck a lid.
Fuck your lid.
It's a big tumbler.
That's a cool thumb.
Yeah, it's from Ink One. He makes pins.
Yeah, that dude shit's awesome. I love that shit.
His Tumblr a long time ago. I yeah, I think standalones. I think leave this one be, but we'll see what they have. I haven't heard shit. I just know it's a big hit, and so big hit means more usually.
I mean, if there's a cool way to do the second one where, you know, they're prepared or whatever, or it's like just a little farther on, she's a little more established and something along those lines.
Yeah,
Or maybe she's an old lady and,
old
you know,
lady.
she's told the story 1,000 times and like nobody really believes it anymore. Like nobody really cares anymore. And like there's her kids or whatever, or one of her kids, or at least like one of the kids out of the tribe or whatever, like, oh, I've always believed that story, and then it becomes like this thing, like I'm gonna fucking take it on. give me some insight.
Yeah. Um,
Maybe that's how the Predator gets the gun back. Is she steps in to kind of like, you're not gonna do this alone. I'll come with you and help, and she has the gun with her, and it kind of takes it from her and whatever. One of those things.
I hope we're done with the gun. I hope it doesn't become like a thing in the more movies. This gun.
Yeah, I
Dude,
mean,
honestly, if I was a predator and I had all this stuff, I'm like, this is a piece of shit, and we'll just chuck it in a river.
that's why he
Goodbye.
gives it back to Harrigan. He's just like, fucking take this thing. Fucking, here's a pile of shit.
Next, I want to do. I got two things I want to talk. I want to do. I kind of want to just bang off our favorite heroes, some of our favorite non-predator characters, and then we'll talk predator favorite predators. Um, I'll start. My favorite is fucking Mike Harrigan. I think Mike Harrigan rules. I think Danny Glover fucking rules. Now he
Hang on.
also
Are you doing like a top five? Because I have top five.
sure fuck it 5.
Okay.
All
So
right.
are you on
I'm
five or
going
one?
number one first because
Okay.
I want to talk about how much I love Mike Harrigan. I rewatched it last night. As a kid, I watched Predator, Predator 2 all the fucking time. Those VHS tapes, they were worn the fuck out. But like Harrigan, I like that movie because of that character, and it's so funny that he was a grizzled cop who was too old for this shit in two different franchises. But he wasn't because like while he was like he played like because Lethal Weapon came out before Predator 2. So like he watched Lethal Weapon, he's dressed and portrays an older character than you watch Predator 2, and he's supposed to be like a younger cop, older but younger than that character.
Mm-hmm.
And like at one point, like he's changing, and like I never noticed before until last night that Danny Glover was like fucking jacked, ripped for this movie, and I was like, oh shit. So he was like really into like being like doing something different, where he's like a fucking like he's like he literally one-on-one combats the Predator in the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and he fucks him up with his own weapons, which is like not something that Dutch does. Dutch does more calculated stuff. The same thing that I'm gonna butcher her name, Naru. Same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing that she does, where like
Yeah.
it's like critical thinking. How can I best this thing that's Harrigan was just chasing him through the city, not even thinking about whatever the fuck he's doing. I'm gonna chase him through this house. I'm gonna climb up the side of this building. I'm gonna chase him through this whole thing. He fucking just chases him, and I love it. I just think it's so 90s. It's
What's so
like
great
Predator
about while he's chasing him, he's bitching to himself the entire fucking time.
He's also afraid of heights. Like all the commentary, the whispering and stuff. The audio is so good with his voice. He also has the best line in any Predator movie. I'll argue all the Arnold stuff, which is what he calls a pussy face.
Yeah. Hey, pussy face.
It's your move. He's got a lot of great lines. People obviously remember all the Arnold lines because like stick around and get you the chopper and all that shit. If it, I'm here. Get me now. All that shit. Classic. But like, I like Harrigan stuff. The Danny Boy, the repeating that they did, the audio repeating they did. Danny Boy. I thought him and Danny Boy might have been in love. We'll never know. Never got to explore that. Him and Danny Boy, his partner, he seemed to be very much in love with that man. But that's for another.
That was him and what's her name? Danny. God damn it. His partner and the lady cop were together.
Really?
I think that was the story, and that is those two are together, and that's why she's pregnant, and she hadn't told him yet.
I don't know. It doesn't seem that way. If they are a couple, they are keeping it a secret.
I think that's how I always read it anyway.
Yeah, so
I think they allude to it.
I'm a big Mike Harrigan started when I actually did the draft pod. I did the movie cops episode. Harrigan was in my fucking draft because he literally bested a predator. And there's a lot of cops that are great in movies, but kicking a predator's ass with his own weapons is pretty serious.
Well, since we already talked about him, he was my number 4.
Harrigan?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just add the one little thing that I have that we didn't actually touch on is in that movie he doesn't take shit from anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
it's that perfect 90s cop movie stuff where it's all cliche, where you're like,
exactly.
You're out of control, and the chief is all mad all the time. It's very like cliche and perfect. It's very perfect.
Like after the very first like street thing, and then they go back to the station, and like the fucking chief just like yells for him, and he's like, "What? Fuck!" And then he goes in, says like his fucking one-liners, and then he's out. But like all Gary Busey's dudes, you know, trying to fucking me mug him and shit, and he's just like, "You're all fucking losers," basically. But he just and he like pushes himself that entire movie, like you were saying, like he's fucking chasing this thing down. But like I said, he's mumbling to himself the entire fucking time. Like he's mad about it. He doesn't want to be doing it, but he's trying to save everybody. So yeah, Harrigan.
It becomes like a revenge thing. Like it becomes like I'm trying to figure out what's
going on. Yeah.
And
all my friends are dead.
Yeah, like I think if Danny doesn't get killed, I think his motivation would have been way less, because the predator at that time was mostly just killing
drug dealers, gangbangers.
Because he kept putting himself in the middle of it, he made him and his partners targets. So he had to end it himself, which I love.
What's the king's name?
King Willie.
Is it King Louis?
King Willie.
King Willie.
King Willie will see you now.
I love that fucking scene when right after Harrigan leaves and Willie's just kind of walking down the fucking alley by himself, and it like lands in the water.
Yeah.
Fucking love that shit so much. And then that transition of like him screaming and it's like walking away with his fucking head.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It's an aggressive movie too. It's very aggressive.
Well, everyone is sweaty as fuck in it.
Yeah. Well, 1997 was a rough year in LA, baby.
And that was the future then.
Yeah.
I still don't understand that. It was 90 when that came out. The future was
basically like, oh, we have little metal pieces on our guns.
Yeah.
Some fake software. That's it. Yeah, Harrigan's my favorite. So feel free to give me yours.
All right. Well, I was starting at the bottom. So my number 5 was Naru. Call me woke, whatever. But I don't think she's a Mary Sue. I don't think they went that far with it.
I think that's a made up thing. I think it's like.
I think it is too. I think it's really fucking silly, and I actually hadn't really heard that term until recently.
It's dumb.
And then, you see some examples, and you're like, okay, that kind of makes sense, whatever. But it's still kind of a dick fucking thing to put on something.
It's like because
we've done it a million times with men. Like
yeah.
That's a part that I don't get. Is
if Alien or Aliens came out today, people would call Ripley a Mary Sue.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is fucking stupid. That's again. It was part of the storyline. When they do this, like if you're writing it a certain way, like I don't understand what you don't get. Like I don't know if you know this, but there also are females, and they also do things. So like sometimes female gets story about female. Like just fucking deal with it. Like it's not.
They're smart and strong
like
too, guy.
It's not always a cash grab for woke audiences. Sometimes it just fits the story better, and in this case, it fit the story better.
Absolutely. What I really like about her character is we kind of touched on it when we were talking about it, but she's not just coming from nothing. Like she has her skills, and she's honing them, and it happens a little quickly for some of the things, but for the most part, it's something that you get the impression she's been working on for a while. That
It's their character motivation right at the gate. They don't
yeah, like
hide. They don't
she
hide.
knows she's ready in her heart to do what she wants to do,
And also
which is
she's bad at it but good at it. So like
yeah,
there's learning moments and motivation. I think it's like once the members of her tribe are killed or brothers killed, there's your motivation. You also have people like, oh, she like, because I saw people like, oh, she did all of this, and like this predator killed all of these mercenaries with big guns, and I was like, yeah, that was the fucking point. That was the whole point of that movie, is that guns are pointless because you're fighting something out of this world. So it doesn't matter how
yeah.
big your muscles are. Doesn't it's all about your wits. Are you smart enough to best this hunter? That's all every movie's been like that. Like that it's just that. You have to be smart. So if you're not smart, you're gonna fucking die. Doesn't matter how big your machine gun is. Doesn't matter how big your biceps are. They did that from the very first movie. They eviscerated all those dudes, except for Arnold. You know how he survived? The moment he started winning, he put his fucking guns down and he started hiding. If you like that movie, then you go to this movie and go, oh, it's impossible that she did. Then you don't like the first one because it's the same fucking thing. As soon as they go, oh, I've got to think about this. I have to be meticulous. I have to plan. It's not about the weapons. It's about the planning. It's about being smart. I don't know. People are fun. There are always going to be those groups of people bitching about shit for no reason.
But just like her ability to turn it around at the end and like use the lay of the land and personal experience to basically trap it and kill it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really cool. And also use it shit against it. Like turn it basically on itself, and like when it accidentally cuts its fucking arm off.
What up?
With its shield. Like it like punches its own fucking arm off and it just stands there and stares at it like holy fuck. Like that just happened.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think she's fucking badass.
Yeah. That's a good one. I mean, she's my number 3, so I'll talk about her. And obviously, I mean, I put Dutch in number 2 because it's Arnold, and Arnold's fucking goated. This more so than Terminator 1. Terminator 2 is obviously like really, really iconic, but Predator as a kid, like I was like, this is fucking Arnold, man, just like out in the mud, screaming with the fucking torch and shit. I was like, that stuff is the stuff that gets you juiced. The first part of that movie, like none of that stuff like does it for me. Like all the machismo, because it's set up to fail. Once you watch the movie and you know what happens, you go, oh, this is all bullshit. This is all designed in a way to show the audience that this is like this is a failed unit who fucking lose because this is all they know. But like Arnold in the third act fucking rules, all covered in mud, very just like the way Arnold is built, not just his muscles, but his facial structure and his big eyes just works so well in the lighting and in the jungle. He was like designed in a lab to be a dude in a jungle fighting a monster. Like there isn't a guy who looks better. The Rock will never do it. The Rock is huge, but if you put him in a jungle, I don't buy it. I just don't think he did. So Arnold looks crazy with the fucking just the gap in his teeth and the big eyes, his spiky hair. He looks fucking nuts. He's just like and that's why that's why he became a movie star, because he looks that way, he sounds that way. It's all like the perfect thing. And yeah, he bested the Predator as well with his wits, setting up fucking traps and kicking his ass. And then he ran what was it, 300 kilometers in 30 seconds and survived that fucking nuclear bomb. So he's really fast. And you don't want to take that.
Good thing that tree had fallen down that he hid behind.
Fucking like, because they say that in 2, they're like, oh, he detonate a bomb that blew up like, oh no, it's 300 street blocks, the equivalent of 300 street blocks or whatever fucking Gary Busey says. And I'm thinking like, that's a big city, 300 blocks. That's a big ass town. But to run that, what I would assume is like a minute of that bomb going off is really fast. So shout out to Dutch. He's lightning fast.
Go inside. Go. Go to bed.
I really need to take a pee break. I can't hold it anymore.
Right.
Be right back.
Cool. I don't think that was the door. I think you farted.
You taking a break?
He's peeing.
Oh.
It's my favorite part, where we walk away and one of us is just sitting here doing nothing. It's great.
Cool.
Super fun.
Why don't you like tell a story?
No.
Tell a joke. Have joke time.
No. That's a definite. That's a definite no.
Be great.
No.
So that's better.
Huh?
So that's better.
All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back.
See? You know how I feel.
All right. Who's next? Who do you got for me? Who else do you like?
Night, buddy. Love you. So Dutch was my number one, just for all the reasons we just talked about. Dutch was my number one. Add on to it with, I feel without him being Arnold Schwarzenegger in that role, a lot of other characters wouldn't exist today.
Yeah, and again, it's like, it's weird and it's a shame that they never brought Dutch back for a sequel.
Okay, so they talk about it in Predators. When they find the one tied up and the way the lady looks at it, and then when they go off and Adrian Brody's like, she fucking knows what's up, like she knows about this fucking thing, and then she tells the story of fucking Dutch, and it's like, how the fuck who told you that shit happened in '87? Like, were you fucking 5? Like, who told you that shit?
I've watched a lot of videos about like what ifs and possibilities, and like there were many times. I mean, Arnold was supposed to come back in Predators, and I always thought Predators was the biggest missed opportunity, because when they revealed Lawrence Fishburne, that should have been Arnold.
Right.
It should have been Arnold. They grabbed his ass up to put him on that planet, and he still survives there. And him being older, it would have been the perfect time to bring him back.
Right.
But not do the crazy angle, which they did with Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Having watched it again, and that literally boils down to my least favorite part of that entire movie.
Yeah, it's they tried to do 2 of those, like surprise him with him, and then Topher Grace. I thought was a little much.
Yeah.
But again, that's another missed opportunity. Not that I have a problem with Lawrence Fishburne, because Lawrence Fishburne is great, but like, again, you could have easily have brought Arnold back into the fold, and here's a guy who could be like, I've done this before, I'm your fucking guide, blah de blah, and there's been, and multiple times, like he's said it, like in interviews and stuff, he's like, I tried to get stuff going multiple times, never worked. And that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. I get that he like skyrocketed off, and they did 2 without him, first of all. because I think it was something to do with money. They didn't want to pay him, the budget. I don't know what it was, but they wanted to bring him back for a sequel, and then it just didn't happen. So like,
I'll tell you what, I'm glad though that 2 happened the way it did with Danny Glover. Because that movie fucking rips. That movie fucking totally rips.
yeah. But again, you don't
That's a good sequel.
like. I guess it's a different time. Like now, the way things are now, with franchise stuff just being so like just a part of the zeitgeist, where you just expect a sequel of everything all the time, or like a
Right.
prequel or reboot.
But also, if you look at those timelines, it doesn't make sense either that those 2 would be together.
Or I don't fucking care. Bring them together. Brett, they should honestly just make a movie called.
To be
Predator.
fair, it's a movie about an alien that comes down and hunts people for sport. So
Make Predator 3 now with them now, all old. I don't care.
love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh.
Ha
Ew!
Enjoy it. Go
Yeah.
rinse your mouth.
Why'd you do that?
You did it to me, dummy.
Oh.
I think I just gave Lynn COVID. That's the first time we've kissed in like 5 days. So
Yeah.
Great.
Better to share.
I don't know how she couldn't get it just being in the house with me because I literally coughed on everything. So
Yeah. My next favorite character I'm throwing in here is another Predator 2 character, and that's Peter Keyes, played by Gary Busey.
there you go.
Peter Keyes fucking rules. Also, he has a lot of great lines, and he's not fully unhinged Gary Busey that we've come to know. He's at that time he was a very like
No.
people forget that he was very like a hireable actor and was in a lot of movies in the 90s.
He was just fueled by cocaine.
Yeah, but he was again in a lot of fucking movies and was a very popular actor.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that he became this complete nutbar and just like a throwaway joke. Because he's great in that movie. He's the perfect. He's great. And I, other than like them having the dumbest group of scientist people you could ever imagine, where they just go, "Oh, there's no way this thing could see in a different way." They just never thought of that one thing that you could go, "Oh, what if it could?" You just assume that it can only see in the heat vision. That's it, and then you just completely roll the dice, put all your money on red, and then you fucking go for it.
But if you think about it, it's one of those like little things where it's something that they latched onto and was like, run with it because we need that. Like we need some sort of advantage. So they kind of, like you said, they stacked their chips on the wrong fucking spot. But I think that was an excuse for the writers to write something different in, where it was like, oh, they just don't see in heat vision. Like with their helmets, they can fucking see in all kinds of different shit. And
What was it?
And
Well,
it
I'm sure if you were watching,
plays out for a really cool fucking visual when it turns into like all of that stuff like floating and like the beams are cutting through it. That shit fucking that blew my mind when I was fucking younger and saw that shit. Like I was so stoked on that.
Yeah, it's a
was
great
like, oh,
surprise.
cool,
It's a
just
great
not
surprise
fucking
reveal for the movie itself. But again, dumb crew of people that all just look like their little team all look like rapey college kids from like an 80s
Yeah, they're all
fraternity.
frat boys.
No people of color, no women in this group.
what's the Baldwin? That's like his right hand man.
Is that a Baldwin? I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's a dude from Serenity, right?
I don't know. His last name's Baldwin. I know that.
I think the dude from Serenity was in it, the tough guy.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
But either way, Peter.
He looks like a
Keyes-
John douchebag.
Peter Keyes fucking rules. Again, a surprise moment. He comes back out in the silver suit. He gets completely
So-
cut in half.
What do you think happens to his top half in that scene? Because it doesn't drop.
I think maybe he's holding on to some other meat. He's holding it. It's a
I mean, it's plausible
Adam
that like
Baldwin.
saw it coming and went like that. And
James with the info right there. Adam Baldwin. But he's not a. He's
There you
not
go.
related to Alec Baldwin. He's not
No.
a Baldwin brother. Yeah. But yeah, that was him. I think that was one of his first movie roles.
Thank you, James. I just knew his last name was Baldwin from the credits. So.
It's just like Gary Busey's raspy voice. It's just, and then you got his raspy voice, and then you got Danny Glover's raspy voice, them talking to each other, and all their cheesy fucking 90s cop dialogue is just so,
Yeah, like the little back and forths that they have are fucking
it's just
great.
so good. It's so time stamped, and just like, and again, they're just doing like macho shit and like cliche cop stuff that never happens with cops in real life.
Dude, when Harrigan like backs up the car, and it like knocks the door off, and then he like drives towards like the violence, like hanging out, just shooting a gun.
Yeah,
I'm in every day for shit like that.
yeah, and yeah. So I only have one other character that I want to mention. So who else you got?
I have two. So I'm gonna go with my number 3, which is Billy.
Who's Billy?
From the first. The big native guy.
Oh, Billy, yeah, the white native guy.
Yeah, I like that dude. I like his character because he's so observant, and just like the little touches that they give him of where like he's so comfortable in the jungle, like he just like grabs a fucking thing and he cuts it and he's drinking out of it, and he's like the first one that realizes like I think something different is happening than what we think is happening.
Because he's a mystical Indian.
Yeah, the tracking shit I think is cool. Like he's trying to lead them in the right way and avoid it, and I don't know, there's something about Billy. And then like the fact that they use like his laughter when he's like setting the fucking bomb to go off and he's laughing like Billy. That's fucking terrifying. That's so fucking scary.
That's good.
It's like, oh cool, that's my dead friend laughing at me through that alien fucking face.
Me and Joe.
How about a pussy joke?
Me and Joe, shout out to my old friend Joe in LA. We'd always be like in the fucking, we'd always do whatever. It was just like, doing that fucking laugh. It's so stupid.
We would do that. Me and Dave would do that sarcastically to one another. Like if we didn't think what the other person said was nearly as funny as the person who said it, that's how we would laugh at each other. Well, yeah.
It's a good one. And then I'm going with another. My last little pick is Mac, because Mac is like very intense. That actor. And I used to go to I used to see him at the gym at Universal City, and he'd just be on like a machine staring with his big eyes. He's got those great lines in Predator 2, or especially when he's like under the tree, the log, whatever. He's like hiding under there, and he grabs Carl Weathers or whatever, and he's like, and he also saves him.
Yeah.
He's very intense and just a really like.
Gonna have some fun. Like you just watching this dude fucking melt down. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, great, because he's a great fucking actor. Probably the best actor out of all of them as far as skills, and he really performed really well in those scenes, and just always had a big impact on me watching that movie. Just thought he was
Ghost.
Fucking.
He does have really good lines in that fucking movie.
He's just really good. I mean, because Jesse Ventura is corny, Shane Black is corny. They're corny characters. I ain't got time to bleed or whatever the fuck. Stupid.
Which I think is funny because they took that, like, I don't know if they did it intentionally or not, but I don't have time to bleed. And it literally just like shoots a hole through him and then he's fucking dead. Like it's not like he just sits there and like bleeds out or whatever. It's like as soon as he's hit, he's fucking dead. Like he's like dead on his feet. So it works.
Super fucking dead. This one I kind of want to blaze through because.
Hang on, I got one left here.
Oh God.
I got one left.
Oh God.
And it's Hanzo from Predators, the Yakuza. The Yakuza dude. I like that shit. I think that's awesome. I like that him and the Falcon or Predator have like that little standoff and actually like kill each other. It's probably like the best part of that entire movie, where it's like the open field. I like the top shot of it where they're standing there. I just think he's a badass. I think he's fucking cool. Dude says like nothing in that fucking movie,
Yeah.
but every time he's on screen, I'm paying attention because he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. Predators, man. I saw that in the theater so many years ago. I'm just gonna kind of list through this because I don't want to spend too much time on it because I want to kind of get to some more fun stuff. Some of my favorite Predator suits / costumes. My favorite is still the City Hunter, which is basically it's very similar to the Jungle Hunter. It's just he has different weapons and a slightly more sleeker helmet. I like the Jungle Hunter. Also, is one of my favorites, but mostly with mask off, helmet off. The way the face design on that still holds up. But again, we can talk about the fucking makeup design in these movies and how they, for 30 years old, they still hold up in these scenes. They look great, which is amazing.
Right.
My third favorite is the Fugitive Predator from the Predator, despite that movie being confusing and bizarre. I like that Predator design. I think it's sleek as hell. I think it's cool. Again, because you're at the advantage of CG plus practical effects in that. So everything is just so clean. He just looks so fucking good all the time. And then
You talking about like the giant one?
no, the Fugitive.
Oh, the Fugitive. I didn't hear you say Fugitive.
Yeah, Fugitive, or some people say Emissary or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I know
like
about
that. I like that design. And then I like the next is the Feral is cool. And then the Berserker design from Predators. Those are just some of my faves.
I put down excuse me. I did 5. Ahab from the comics. I know they've made like a bunch of figures of him and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking rad. Like he's missing the fucking eye. He's missing one of his mandibles.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a cool fucking backstory, but like his almost lack of armor. Like he's got like a little bit, but he's got like that red, like tattered cape thing that he wears too. I just think he looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Wolf from Requiem.
Right.
I like his helmet a lot. I like the little spikes that run along it. I like his weapons in that movie. That fucking whip that he made out of like a xenomorph tail. I think it's pretty rad. Number 3 is the Feral one. We don't have to rehash that one. Number 2 is the Falconer from Predators. I really like the helmet on that one. It's kind of blocky, but I like the black and like the layers. Like it juts down in like cool layers. And then like I just like the jet, like the little drone thing that comes off. I thought that was a cool idea. Like seems like it should have been done like a while ago. And then the Jungle, number 1 OG fucking Jungle Hunter. Dude's fucking awesome. Can't fuck that. Like the fact that that wasn't supposed to be what it looked like. And then they were like, we need to fix this now.
Yeah.
Like this alien's really bad. And then Stan Winston sitting there and fucking just like drew it on a plane ride to like help them out. And then according to lore, James Cameron was like put mandibles on its face. But I don't know if that's true or not. Nobody knows if that's a real thing or not. But
James Cameron was like, put it in a fucking robot suit. I gotta put all my characters in robot suits. Now, as I'm debating on what we should do last, I feel like, because basically I just want to I feel like the ranking of the movies is not that interesting. Sup, Andy? Because most people kind of know where this is gonna fall.
Yeah, I felt like this one was kind of. It is what it is, but We can shoot through them real quick, and then we'll get to the fun stuff.
But I basically have 10. I want to really get to the action movie characters versus the Predator. I have 10.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I got a handful, but
Well, as far as ranking the movies, I mean, it's not controversial. It's not a controversial. There's no one's gonna be like, oh my god. It's literally what you would think. Although maybe a small surprise. I'll just start.
Ours will definitely be a little different. I know that much.
Maybe I'm gonna just go through what I got 1 through 7. There's 7, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna just number 1 is Predator, just because structure wise, it is the best. Predator 2. Then I'm going Prey. Number 4, Predators. Again, there's a lot of things I don't like about that movie, but just as a movie, it holds up as like movie structure stuff. Again, AVP, not a fan of the movie, but structurally and what they were doing, it makes sense. Then number 6 is the Predator. I like the Predator, but it is a pile of shit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And it has one of the dumbest plot devices of a kid with autism.
So right in here, it says the Predator, and literally right next to it, I wrote, "What a pile of shit."
Like, I like it. I like it. I like the dumb dialogue, but like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and again, the autism plot device is one of the worst ideas I've ever seen in a sci-fi movie. And then AVP Requiem, because it's nearly unwatchable and visible to the sight, and just mean for no reason.
Yeah,
and pointless.
I did write some things down.
Sure.
To go along with, explanations of why. Just to clarify, our ranking was exactly the same. So.
Oh, look at that.
Good on us. Maybe it was more predictable than I thought. I thought you would have had Predator 2 first, but you're smart. You're smart. And honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if you didn't.
Yeah.
I put for AVP Requiem that there was some cool practical stuff. Like they did like a mixture of CGI and practical, and there's some cool practical shit in that movie.
When you can see it.
Yeah, it's the shitty color grading. Like everything is so dark in that movie. Like everything that you want to see is in black.
Also,
and then,
I don't like the way that the Predator and the Predalien. I don't like the way
they are way too thick.
It's so big. They just look like Godzilla's fighting.
Yeah.
At times.
I don't know why they felt the need to jam so much shit on those dudes. What I was gonna say is, it's like everything you want to see you can't, and then like all the stuff that you can see you don't want to see because it sucks. Like all the people shit is so fucking.
You mean the CW plot lines?
God damn it! What the fuck were they thinking?
They were thinking, let's make a Friday 13th with Predator.
It's so poopy. So poopy.
Yeah, it's. I tried to rewatch AVP a few weeks ago and I fell asleep. I will never try to watch Requiem. I put Requiem on earlier today, just to see how bad it actually was. It is unwatchable. It's like, I was like, and I go back to ridiculing like the Predator, like the fact that like the funniest thing about that movie is, Olivia Munn running through a forest, she chases down that spaceship, which has to go at least 10 miles while they're fighting on top of it. And she somehow catches up to them. That's amazing. She's so fast.
She's as fast as Arnold, who can run fucking 360 blocks.
I would say faster. She caught up to them faster. But
well, she doesn't have all those muscles weighing her down.
The dumbest part of Predator, which is they add that little story tweak of the Predators are like stealing DNA or something, or like doing like all this stuff, like stealing human DNA or something. I was just like, it's like when you do too much in any horror thing, where you give too much to like the horror villain, and you're adding more to it, and it takes away the mystique, which they've done with like practically every horror movie monster.
It's the fucking Rob Zombie Halloween remake. I don't care where it came from. I don't care that he was a stupid, shitty little kid. I don't care where he came from. It's scarier because I don't know where the fuck he came from.
Yeah, they kind of take, because like I mean, AVP showed which AVP or Requiem, which one showed the home world? I don't remember, but they don't really get into it because
that's Requiem. It's like right at the fucking beginning they show.
Because if you get into it, like if you get into
it's Wolf who's sitting in like that chair, and he like hones in on that ship and sees that it's struggling and that it's like being taken over, so he grabs his shit to go fix it.
And like, because like if you go too detailed into it, it's like, oh, does the Predator homeworld, do they have like accountants? Like who's paying? Like, do they have money? Like, do they have do they like how? What is the really like? Do they live in like apartments with like their kids and shit? Like,
honestly, all of that shit has already been set up fucking ages ago. All of that stuff is in the fucking Alien versus Predator fucking comic book.
Yeah, but I think that comics, and like this is the case. It's like when you do like Star Wars comics, Star Wars books, any of this stuff is like, it's canon if you want it to be canon, but like if it's not in the movies, and just like how the movies they're not all canon with each other anymore, because
right. I mean, still though, it fucking,
because once
having seen it though, and going, oh shit, that's kind of a cool idea, and then finding out like, oh, it's not too far off of what somebody else had already fucking done, whatever. Then I don't worry about it too bad. That it having read the Alien versus Predator comics and then watching Requiem, and it was like, cool, that kind of looks like some of the stuff that they have. Is it exact? No. Does it need to be? No.
I think it's like,
because I never gave a shit about that fucking movie. It's bad.
Yeah, I think it's like whatever you want it to be, but like what is canon, it always depends on what the newest movie is and what the new movie basically like. So for me, this new movie basically says Predator, Predator 2, and nothing else. Because that's the vibe I get.
Right.
Because like once Ridley Scott came back to the Alien franchise and did Prometheus, basically setting up fucking David basically creating the xenomorphs with the black goo, you erased the fucking the pyramid shit with the xenomorphs training, and all that stuff is donezo.
Which is like, okay, so in the Alien versus Predator comic, like the temple shit doesn't exist. Like that's not a part of it. It's just the Predators have a queen on a ship, and they're harvesting its eggs.
Fat.
And they'll shoot out little drone things that have the eggs on it. They'll send like 3 eggs to a fucking planet, and then it'll drop down, and whatever wildlife is around it gets fucking attacked. It shoots out xenomorphs, and they go down to fucking hunt them on that planet and interact with whatever's fucking down there. Now it turns out that there's like basically like almost like ranchers that have like this meat trade thing going on, and it all kind of happens there. But then you get into like the farther ones where when you start seeing like Ahab and shit, like Ahab goes like all the way up through to wanting to kill an engineer. Like that's his goal, where he was like an elite predator, which is like the highest of the hunters, and then there's the elders, which is like the highest you can possibly get. But he fucking like realizes that the engineers exist. Like he goes into a cave. It's like right after he gets his fucking eye cut out and his mandible fucking cut off. He goes into a cave and he finds like wall paintings and shit that look like the shit that they find in Prometheus. And he's like, what the fuck are those things? I want to kill one of those. So he goes on like this fucking journey to find a goddamn engineer to fight that, which is awesome. Like, I fucking love that shit. Like, he wants to destroy a creator.
Speaking of
That's awesome.
Disney and Marvel, this is the first Predator. Aliens have been, I think, I have all the Alien Marvel comics that Marvel's put out in the last 2 years, and then this is the first Predator that they've done since they got the deal or whatever. I haven't read it, but we'll see.
Did you read any of the Batman versus Predator stuff?
I pretty sure I have the trade somewhere. I think I read.
That's what I have. I just have the fucking like little omnibus thing that they fucking.
I have that one, and I have Superman versus Alien too.
Oh, right on. I don't think I have that.
Which is
What's
just
cool
so dumb
about the Batman versus Predator is they did like one little different thing with like the trophies where it kills that boxer and it takes his fucking hands. I thought that was a cool fucking thing. That
smart.
It wasn't just about like trophy skulls. It was like that's what that dude fucking fought people with, and that's what it was, his hands.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm ready to get to this, which is the most fun list I've done in a while.
I'm hoping we have at least 2.
I'm sure we will. I've got 10, so they're ridiculous. Some of them are ridiculous. I'm going to start at 10. I'm going to work my way up to my number 1.
Okay.
Let's do the setup here. This is action movie characters we would like to see fight a predator. These are existing movie characters that.
Go ahead and do 10 through 5, and then we'll switch off on the 5 to 1.
All right. So.
And if there's any overlap, we'll mark them off, and I won't.
10 through 6. That's 5.
Go nuts.
Well, number 10.
I know what I said. I know I said fucking 10 through 5.
I know you know. Action movie. These are existing movie characters that I would like to see fight a predator in a movie that would be ridiculous. They will never be made. But my number 10 is the Bride from Kill Bill.
Oh shit! I almost put that.
I would like to see Uma Thurman. I think she's got the chops. She's got the skills, and she would be a want that a predator watching her massacre all of those other warriors, and it would want her skull, I think.
Absolutely.
My number 9 is a little non-tradition. I'm going Tequila Yen from Hard Boiled.
Ooh.
That's Chow Yun Fat. If we're gonna do a person with a lot of guns and shooting kind of character, I'm gonna go with him. I also, because I think I have a lot of cops on here. I think cops work well with a predator just because it's just like because it's like a grizzled 9 to 5 kind of job where you're not doing it to be a superhero. You're just like I gotta clock in and do this shit. I like that. I like that aspect of it. And again, get John Woo to direct it. I'm all on board. Bring it back. My number 8 is ridiculous. I'm going Black Dynamite.
Nice.
Black Dynamite versus the Predator. Obviously, this would be a comedy. The Predator killing his hose, his whatever.
How many pussy jokes?
A lot.
Within like the first 5 minutes of him seeing the Predator's face. Like I could literally see just the way that the Black Dynamite is shot. It just be like where they start, and it's like he says like one take, and then there's just like 10 more takes of him saying different things about his face looking like a vagina.
Yeah, I just think it if you're gonna do a comedy style and then also it's a period piece with all the outfits and stuff, and just adding in the blaxploitation stuff would just be ridiculous. My number 7 is Nada from They Live, aka Roddy Piper.
Nice.
If you need a fat-handed brawler type, I'm going with him. I would like to see him just punching a predator like many, many times in a flannel and very tight light blue jeans. That's a good ass fucking that's a good ass time for me. Terrible one-liners, just fucking awful. Great score though, and I just watched They Live. I think was it last weekend or the weekend before? God, I love that movie so much. So great. But I would like to see I think my bottom half is just all ridiculous, and my number 6 is Ash Williams. So
I almost put Ash also.
Ash is in there because Ash has fought lots of monsters, so I think he would do pretty well. Again, more one-liners. My stuff is just like who would be grizzled and say and have good banter and be like and basically just doing Harrigan type things or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm very one-sided in my picks, but I obviously Bruce Campbell is great, and I would love to see him take on a predator.
That would
and
be
probably
amazing.
lose. And probably lose. Honestly, lose.
Right?
That's my bottom half.
All right. So I'll start off the next half then with my number 5. I wrote this down, and then I was like, I probably shouldn't do this one, but I'm going to do it anyway. Is The Expendables. Just make Expendables versus Predator. Because the whole idea of it was like action movie whatevers. And then I was like, fucking get all of them. Get all of them in one go. And that would be my number 5.
As long as the predator kills most of them.
And that's exactly where my brain went, was like, oh, most of these dudes die like immediately. Like they just don't fucking survive this. So yeah, that's my number 5.
Nice. So do I gotta go again?
Yep, you're number 5 now.
My number 5 is a goat cop. This is Dirty Harry, boys. Dirty Harry, give me Dirty Harry.
I should have known that would have been on your list.
It was either him or the man with no name, but Dirty Harry would have better dialogue. I had to do a Clint Eastwood character, you know it, and it's got to be Dirty Harry, grizzled cop from San Francisco with a fucking predator in his town.
He ain't got time for that shit.
With a big fucking with the Magnum and the fucking brown suit, just like.
And you kind of get that with Harrigan. Like, you kind of get he's got that gigantic fucking gun, and he's got that sweaty brown suit.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's because Dirty Harry is like the blueprint. Like the Don Siegel that movie is like the blueprint for so many of those grizzled cop movies. It's like, it's it. But I
do have one question, if we could backtrack for just 1 second, just because I brought it up, the sweatiness of Predator 2. Everyone is so goddamn sweaty in that movie. It's actually 2 things. One, why is Paxton wearing fucking burn suit from the Talking Heads? Like, he looks like he has his fucking like giant suit on in that.
That's
the
style, 1997.
And 2, Danny Glover's suit looks like it's made out of wool. Like, why is he wearing the thickest fucking suit in the hottest summer?
It's the same thing. It's like when I see like construction workers wearing long sleeves and they're out in the sun working. I don't know. Some people.
Well, that's a protective. That's like, I'm not gonna get sunburnt. Like, I'll be warm, but I'm not gonna get burnt. Idea. Maybe that's what I don't fucking know, but it looks uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
So continue.
I mean. One thing I do want to mention about how the predator, just in general about predators, their code is fucking dumb, and they are full of shit. Because people are like, oh, they're honorable. Some of them, because they got those tribes, the honorable tribes, and then the not honorables. Motherfucking doesn't want to kill this lady cop because she's pregnant. But then, like, one of them will also just blow up just set off a bomb. What if there's pregnant women in that fucking area? You're just like, He's gonna. It's fucking stupid. They don't have a code. It's dumb. It's just like it's
It
selective.
is. It's like a last resort thing. To me, it's
Selective.
leave no evidence. Basically, it's like it's destroying whatever it's got on it with it, and that's how I always took it. It was like don't leave any fucking proof that you were here, type of thing.
Kill all the pregnant women you can to get out of it.
You're thinking about it way too hard. Don't do that.
Is it me again? Or you? I did
It's
dirty
me.
hair. You.
Yeah, so my number 4 is John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick was the one I was thinking about, but I didn't put on because I thought it was like the obvious choice.
So many bullets. So many bullets. So many fucking sword fights and kicks and
knives.
Shit would be amazing. Shit would be rad. And then let John Wick get some fucking Predator technology and use that too.
I'm totally down with it.
good
Well,
at it.
I'm down with any John Wick movie where they're not diving deeper into this league of assassin guilds and whatever the fuck. That shit just keeps going deeper and deeper into it.
Honestly, let him get some of that technology, and he doesn't know what it is. Like he can't figure it out. That would be great. Or you go back to the formula of the first movie.
If you're gonna do it,
where you gotta fucking put all that shit down, and you gotta fucking use your smarts.
I think a John Wick would be a good character for like one of the ones where you team up with the Predator to fight other things.
Ooh.
Because you don't want to see John Wick go down, and I think in a movie like that, you'd want him to team up with a Predator because you could have like a great back-to-back like fight scene with those two guys, with those two kinds of characters. Where they're just like so.
Because they definitely have like mad respect for that dude.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that. I like it.
And he says Rick Moran. I don't think he would make it.
He just shrinks them all on accident.
My number 4 is ridiculous, and I love it. And that's Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. I got to go with Tom Cruise.
Oh, there you go.
Tom Cruise running.
Could you
away
imagine
from a predator.
him standing next to a fucking 7-foot tall predator? He'd be like this big.
He always wins.
It would look like he was hanging out with Rick Moranis beforehand and got shrunk.
When I picture these movies, I basically picture it like the Predator is interjected into the movie. So it's like I would want a lot of car chase scenes, a lot of fast stuff. So a lot of chase scenes in this. A lot of the Predator is like in a ship, Ethan Hunt is either being chased by a Predator in a ship,
fucking hanging on the side of it.
Hanging on the fucking side. Just all that ridiculous shit, but with like a fucking Predator instead. Like, just give me that. And Tom Cruise is being so intense.
And sneaking around. Something that's sneaking around him.
And he's got devices. He's got devices and disguises and all that stuff to like, because he's a spy. And spy would be a good way to fight a Predator. Dom from Fast and Furious. Yeah, I thought about, I actually, speaking of Vin Diesel, I actually had Riddick on my list.
He was my honorable mention.
What,
Riddick was my honorable mention, yeah.
Riddick is almost superpowered, I feel like. I tried to avoid superpowered people. The only reason I thought about it was like the two different like vision things. Yeah. And
like how awesome that would play against.
Yeah. I like that one. You're next.
Okay, so my number 3 is Ting from Ong Bak.
Okay. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, exactly. But that movie fucking rules. Ong Bak fucking rules. And just watching a dude use fucking like TIE fighting against fucking a Predator. Like it's like eliminate a lot of that weapon bullshit, and it just comes down to fucking hand-to-handing one. Especially in like that first Ong Bak movie where it's like the drug dealers dudes come in and they steal like that fucking Buddha statue. So you have that going on, and then you drop a fucking Predator in the middle of that because there's like all the fucking back and forth between them, and I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fucking awesome.
That's a good one. That definitely is. That's my tequila. That's your tequila. Not because it's Asian. Don't want to be racist. Just a lesser known big star movie. I tried to avoid because I was like, oh, these are all just white guys on my list. But that's the studio system. I'm a victim of it as well. My number 3, it's the most obvious one I feel like, and that's fucking Ripley. Ripley.
Yeah.
What
I'm
would
gonna
a
grab a
predator?
beer. You go on.
What would a predator? Who would a predator want to kill more than a person who has killed fuck tons of alien xenomorphs? And that's Ripley. She's beat the queen. She's beat all versions of it. And I think if you're gonna send in somebody to fight Predator or have that scenario, you would fucking Ripley. She'll show up there in her fucking cotton panties and beat the shit out of any predator. And
I gave some thought as well,
but
but it seemed a little too on the nose for me.
Yeah, I think it's on the nose, but also like if you're thinking just universe building like sequels, they've done the crossovers. I was like, out of all the crossover ideas, and I also think it was on the table as well that Ripley was supposed to be. What did I just read about the Predator? The Predator was also supposed to involve Ripley at some point. I don't remember. They had all kinds of ideas in these movies, but like, there's a lot of like, if you go back, there's a guy on YouTube called Matt Draper, and he has like all these. He's got video series like unmade movies. So he's got like unmade like Halloween's, unmade Aliens, and he just breaks down like the scripts that could have been made. Good stuff.
I'll have to see if that's an episode of Best Movies Never Made or Development Hell. Because both
And
of
also,
those podcasts
like, if you're doing a team up with Predator movies, the obvious thing is Ripley.
Yeah.
Who hates aliens? Ripley. Who hates aliens? Predators.
Actually, dude, while we're talking about Best Movies Never Made, they just did a new episode, I think like a week ago, about an unmade Phantasm movie that I think you would find interesting.
It's not just a 7-minute YouTube video. I'm not gonna watch it.
No, never mind.
It's like an hour. I can't.
It goes on for a minute.
All right. Let's burn through this
right.
because side note, I have to go in 20 minutes.
For what?
I gotta pick up a pizza, man. Got a pizza.
That's horse shit.
That's life, man.
Yeah, and this stream for a fucking pizza. You suck.
Pizza, whatever. We're killing it.
All right, so my number 2 is Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd. That's a good one.
Carl Urban's Judge Dredd. Just Dredd. Just
Not
Dredd.
Stallone.
Not Stallone. Dredd. I think that shit would be fucking amazing. In my mind, when I was thinking about it, I thought about like Dredd's like gun technology where that shit is like coded specifically to them. And like something happening where like he drops his gun or whatever and the Predator picks it up and it's like looking at it, but it can basically see shit with like its helmet or whatever, so it knows that that's what will happen if it tries to pull the trigger, and it just like throws it back to him like, let's keep fucking going, like take your fucking silly gun and let's do this. I'm not gonna fall for that shit. I don't know, that shit would be awesome to me. And him like and so like staunch like in his like by the bookness, and it's got like its coat, so it's like just kind of like playing off of each other. I think that should be fun.
Yeah, and plus it's Carl Urban, so
yeah.
My last 2 are pretty on the nose. My number 2 is John McClane, specifically Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, John McClane, and I guess 3. But after that, it's fucking terrible. But like, shout out Bruce Willis, who is a goat, and again, I like them. Give me a grizzled cop just mumbling to himself about how this is just the worst job, and because it's a job, it's not a hero thing. It is, but it isn't, because it's like,
Yeah.
I like that. It's again, it's just a Harrigan thing with like slightly different spin on it.
Yeah.
And
I really feel like that was probably a thing that was said in the sit down for Predator 2 was.
and that's why Predator 3,
Or
the
Predator.
unmade sequel, is such a disappointment, because you should have been able to do a Die Hard style thing, like in the ship or on the planet.
Yeah.
Just trying to get out. And that's my number 2, John McClane, baby.
All right. Here's my number 1. RoboCop.
I feel like RoboCop would win, though, right? Just beat him.
I don't know.
I mean, he did get beat by like a samurai guy, and
He
also
got
like
beat by a
drunk
fucking drug addict robot. Fucking like he got beat up. Of course he's gonna win. It's just they're gonna fight for a little bit.
Yeah, I thought about RoboCop too, but I didn't pick him because I felt like I was trying to avoid anybody who had any kind of enhancements. And
Any
also,
what?
would the Predator want to kill a RoboCop? He's not really alive.
Oh fuck yeah! Absolutely.
What
Who
is the
would
trophy?
want a fucking like robot shell on top of a fucking skull trophy? I want that shit. Give me your cyborg. Like he would take the entire fucking suit as a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, RoboCop was like in the very early draft of my list, along with Tony Stark, and I was like, okay, these are getting too. Tony Stark would easily beat a Predator. I feel like.
You want to know the silly one that I left off?
Sure.
Was One Eye from Valhalla Rising. Mads Mikkelsen.
The fuck.
Yeah. Drop him in that story where he's the fucking just like fighter guy and like the Predator's watching all of this shit and then follows them to the US coastline and like, I want to fucking kill that guy because he's really tough.
Well, speaking of One Eye, that leads me to my last pick, number 1, Snake Plissken.
Nice.
Snake Plissken, baby.
Fucking nice.
You Snake Plissken.
That would be awesome. I'd
Any-
watch that shit in a heartbeat.
Kurt Russell could have easily been cast in any Predator movie, in any era. I think he's a believable, badass guy. Looks the part.
I borderline wanted to put down Jack Burton also, but I didn't.
Jack Burton would be more of a comical version, but yeah, I would like.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't write it down. I wanted to say a little more like tough guy shit, because watching fucking Big Trouble in China, he's not a fucking hero. Like he's knocked out for half of that end battle.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And Snake Plissken would survive because Snake Plissken is a bad guy. Like he's not a good.
Yeah.
And that kind of is, other than in Prey, I feel like most of the characters who survive these things have to live on that line to survive.
Right.
But he would fucking snap, man. I think it would be fucking great, a Snake Plissken type character.
Get the fuck out of here, Andy, you weirdo.
Fucking Mel Gibson, just crying over his dead sons. I know my sons are dead again.
A fucking patriot. Ugh.
Started a new family and the Predator kills his new sons. That's my list.
Maybe the man without a face.
I threw all the cards. Yeah, that's it. I still think my favorite one was what the fuck? Ethan Hunt. I still think Ethan Hunt, Dirty Harry, and like The Bride. I think those are my favorites out of my list. I just really feel like they would be the most fun.
After thinking about it, I think you're absolutely right. That John Wick, would have to team up. That would be fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd, I feel like that comic should have already happened. Like it may have. I didn't.
No actual Foley. I only picked one comedy kind of character, and that's Black Dynamite. I don't think Axel Foley is tough enough. I don't think he's
No,
tough.
no.
I think he dies.
He is street smart though, and that may work to his advantage. Like knowing a city, I think would be helpful. But even with Harrigan, like that shit didn't pay off. Like it's not like he used the city to his advantage.
Drop Axel Foley into a Predator gaming planet and see how long
he's dead. He says like two funny things and then he gets shot in the fucking throat.
Oh yeah,
and the best way to fucking like dial that one in is look at Danny Trejo's character in Predators, where it's like you're thinking in the back of your head like, oh, that's fucking Machete, without being Machete, and he's like one of the first ones to go.
Yeah.
He might be the very first one out of that group to go. So
yeah, Danny Trejo's not one of my favorites. So
the one-liners would be insane, but I think the one-liners in a Black Dynamite one would be a million times better.
I think the one-liners in a lot of it, just like I think that threw my fucking list away. I threw it away like Letterman style. I think John McClane one was really good. I think Ethan Hunt stuff. I think anything where you have like a character that's very like intense, even Snake Plissken, and then when there's like a moment of levity, says something funny. First, it's constant barrage of jokes, which, as we saw in like Thor: Love and Thunder, doesn't work.
Yeah. Good Lord, man. That exists. Can't rain all the time.
I'm gonna do like, look at my eyes. Dead eyes.
Ooh.
Check out his little outfit. This thing is hilarious. So I ordered this. This is from Spencer's Gifts. I don't remember what year it came. I don't know what year it came out. I ordered it. I got a cheap deal on it. I've always seen it because I watch pro stuff on eBay all the time. I had no idea it was this big. I thought it was like 10-inch figure, but motherfucker is like 1.5 feet. He's big. He's a full-on doll. And he talks, but I gotta replace the battery. I gotta figure out how to find it. Somewhere in his butt, I think. But just look at that face.
It's pretty amazing.
The legacy of Brandon Lee is this thing.
Wrapped up in a
Pleather coat. Yeah, that's one of my recent acquisitions.
Doll's got some like luxurious hair.
Yeah, I mean, you could
Maybe
brush it.
That's big.
I got these. I can go through real quick. I got the VHS. Marvel.
I need to get that so bad, dude.
It's on Hasbro Pulse. You could order it right now. There's that one, which is the best one.
I just made my last toy purchase for a minute.
Yeah.
With my Kessler Wolf.
Got the Wolverine.
Awesome.
Hard to see, like it's kind of blown out in this lighting, but these are all fun. I usually don't open my Marvel Legends, but because of this style, I think it's kind of cool. Well, it's the fake VHS tape. I just got the Gene.
Yeah, the way that those things are colored, like painted.
Yeah, like this.
They're begging to be displayed.
Yeah, and if you put it because if you just put the box there, you're just like, okay, well that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That Jubilee, and that's kind of where the thing's going. I don't know if you know, but like Star Wars Black Series and Marvel Legends, they're all being covered up. They're not using plastic.
It's weird.
Got the Storm, which is pretty fucking sick.
I like that.
the White Storm. Everyone was so mad. And then last, well, that's it. Oh, I got this set. I got the Dark Knight Returns McFarlane set.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty dope. I already have, I think, 2 Frank Miller Batmans. This is the McFarlane one. He's so thick. And you got the Robin, of course.
Oh
But
yeah.
the best part was that the Build-A-Figure was a horse.
Sure was.
And you can put the Batman on the horse. And then you can just put this somewhere for some reason. I was so excited about it, and I immediately just put Cyclops on the horse.
Hell yeah.
I put Cyclops on the McFarlane stuff. And that's pretty much it. And then if you look behind me, you'll see there's a lot of things.
Lots of them.
I opened up the Puppet Master figures. I finally put those up in the case. I was never gonna open them, but I was like, yeah, I just wanted to put them in. I put them in the glass display.
I've had both of those in my hand at one time, and I couldn't pull the trigger on them because they're so fucking small.
The one thing I've
Like in my brain, like those things should have been at least like that. Like
but then
they should
scale
have been
wise,
bigger.
yeah, but then scale wise, they don't really look good with other figures.
I don't give a
They
fuck.
already don't.
They're gonna be in a fucking box.
Yeah, they're right there. Can you see them?
Yeah,
Where's my?
I can see Pinhead, but
He's right there.
was that tunneler on the outside there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put them right in the front. Like if you put them next to they're bigger than Chucky.
Are they?
Well, they're about the same size, and that's what's kind of confusing about it. I feel like they should be smaller.
Yeah.
They should be like very small, but then you could have good detail on the figures. But yeah, the only thing I'm looking for right now is like I'm trying to find the McFarlane Azrael Nightfall figure. It just came out and it's nowhere to be found out here.
Which one?
The Nightfall Batman Azrael.
From the animated series?
No, the '90s comic where he's got like the metal like
Yeah.
robot suit with all the spikes and stuff.
Because I know they put out the animated series one. I've seen that one.
Yeah, this is like the McFarlane one.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for it. If I see it, I'll grab it for you.
Well, like everybody has it, everyone's finding it, and every time it goes up, I've been missing it on the Walmart app for sale.
Huh.
Yeah.
I gotta go to Walmart tomorrow, so I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, so the garage is where I spend all my time now. I come out here and I sit with
Like I said, I had the Man Bat fucking figure in my hand too, but I just bought that Kessler Wolf, so finally got the fucking thing, the Kessler Wolf.
Yeah, the Man Bat I've never seen, but I could order it. Obviously, I could order that one.
It was at Books A Million. That's
I hope it goes down. I hope it goes on sale. If it goes down on sale like the Clayface, then
Yeah.
Clayface went back up.
That's something I'm hoping too, is that it gets like oversaturated and there's just like 1,000 of them, and then I can just own it and I don't have to worry about paying.
The trick is like
$40.
you have to like get on the Walmart app like every day and just check to see what DC multiverse stuff is on sale.
Right on.
Because I won't pay. I think because even with the Dark Knight stuff, those were $25 a piece when they came out, and I was like, I'm not paying that, and I got them for like $15, $16 a piece.
Nice.
Sale. So like,
So when I was at Books, they had just a handful of the Legends on sale for like $12 or $10.
That's good.
Like some were 10, some were 12, but it was just a bunch of shit that I didn't want. Like none of the characters that they had that I would have bought were on sale. It was like the More figure, which is cool figure, but I don't need it. Like I don't have like an extensive collection that requires a Morph being there. It's not my favorite character. I like the way it looks, but it's not something that I needed to have.
Real quick before I go, I just want to kind of run down that I really like Sandman, the show.
I haven't watched the last episode they just dropped.
I haven't watched, I don't know what episode I'm on. I think I've watched 5 or 6 episodes, but I really enjoy it. And
Yeah, yesterday was it yesterday? They
I
dropped a brand new episode.
watched She-Hulk last night.
I haven't watched that yet. I
CG's
don't.
really bad. It's entertaining, but the CG's really bad. What else? Res Dogs is really heavy this season. What We Do in the Shadows is, of course, hilarious.
So good.
This last week's episode might be my favorite of the season.
I don't know if I watched this week's yet or not.
Hmm.
No, I don't think I did. I watched last week's on Monday. So yeah, I haven't watched this week's.
And
Maybe that's what I'll go.
yeah, when we come back, by the time we do another episode, Game of Thrones is premiering tomorrow, which is weird. And then Lord of the Rings is going to start, which is weird. I feel like I'm traveling back in time.
I don't plan on watching either of those shows.
I'm going to watch it.
I personally am boycotting the fucking Lord of the Rings show on Amazon because they shit canned the Dark Tower series that I was really hoping would take off for another fucking Lord of the Rings thing to exist, and it doesn't need to exist.
Hey, I have no dog in the fight, and I don't care. I'm not excited, but I'm going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch it.
I'm going to watch anything that has, like, what they're saying is, like, the biggest budget of any show of all time. So I'll watch it.
Here's the thing. Dark Tower is riddled with fucking Lord of the Rings references. Stephen King made no qualms about fucking throwing Lord of the Rings shit into the Dark Tower. It's fine. But the fact that I can't even, like, watch the pilot for the Dark
Maybe
Tower.
just watch that Idris Elba McConaughey movie on a loop.
Because I watched it once and I wanted to burn my fucking eyes out and bury them.
That's what you
Fucking
get.
awful. God, it was bad. That was a
Bad to
giant.
the phone.
No.
Bad.
God, what a pile of shit that fucker is.
Speaking of pile of shit, real quick, I want to say before I go that Jamie Foxx vampire movie was top tier dog shit. I love that Searles liked it.
I haven't watched it.
Holy God, it makes no sense. So fucking bad. Just almost unwatchable. Nearly unwatchable.
I'll have fun with that then.
It like hurts my brain. But
Nice.
tonight I'm gonna catch up on Sandman and then go to bed. That's my plan. I'm gonna eat some pizza, but I gotta go. Day shift is great. See, a ton of fun.
You know that motherfucker loves that shit.
Yeah, Andy loves all movies with fucking that like have no central plot. What was the goal of the villain? I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. Okay. The whole time I'm trying to figure out what the villain was trying to do, and you can't. Because it doesn't make sense. They don't explain it. It's just like a bunch of rap songs about California references, and like Snoop Dogg's a cowboy, and they just throw all of these vampire things at you, and none of it matters or makes sense. Jamie Foxx is not even funny. Dave Franco is doing like this Woody Allen thing. It's horrible. That was Day Shift made Gray Man like feel like the Godfather. Like that's how I felt. I was like, because I watched Gray Man, I was like, this is a pile of shit. This is a bunch of CG wind. I don't know what's going on. And then I watched Day Shift. I was like, holy fuck, this is even worse. Netflix killing it with their fucking movies.
Dave crushed it, Andy says.
Yeah. If you like the one bit they have on a loop, it's a movie for you. Just this one joke. Gray Man was not fantastic. It was really bad. It's like a bunch of CG stuff. It's like dusty wind. How to describe the Gray Man? What am I looking at? Dusty CG wind. Okay, cool. And just like, I love Ryan Gosling so much, and I was so pained watching it. So pained.
I came home the other day and Lynn was watching Nice Guys.
Oh, so good.
It is so fucking good. That's a movie I wish there was a sequel to.
Oh, I would watch 10 of those movies.
Give me fucking Nice Guys 2.
That should be a fucking series. It should be a private investigative show series. I would watch the shit out of.
Oh, I'd watch the shit out of that. Especially if it was Ryan Gosling and fucking why can't I think of his fucking name? Russell Crowe.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would watch the shit out of that. Ryan Gosling is so goddamn funny in Nice Guys. Every time he screams, I fucking lose my shit. Like he gets scared like 1,000 times in that movie.
It's so
And
good.
it makes me laugh every time. Or when he's just sitting on the toilet and he's got the gun and he fucking hits open the door and it fucking slams shut up. It's just stupid little shit like that. I fucking love it.
My dream movie is a movie with Colin Farrell and Ryan Gosling just being like eccentric and weird. Some kind of genre movie. Need those two guys in a movie together. But I gotta go. This
All right,
has been
buddy.
fun. Predator all day, every day. Harrigan forever. If you missed all of it, I'm gonna do my absolute best to actually post this one so you can watch it.
Where'd you get your Venom shirt at?
This is not a Venom shirt. This is a Beyonce shirt.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw the top of it and knew that it was in League with Satan cover.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
It says woke up like this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm amazing.
Is
Goodbye.
that a Mess Syndicate shirt?
What?
Is that a Mess Syndicate shirt?
No, this was a guy who had a clothing company. I think he's kind of done. His name was, I think his company's called Sex and Death or something. He had a lot of cool stuff back in the day, like 3 or 4 years ago. I think he kind of fell off though.
Outrageous.
But I have the Drake T-shirt. That's the Death logo, but it says Drake.
Nice.
And then I have an Axel sneaker T-shirt that he made.
Sweet.
Gotta go.
All right, buddy. Go get your pizza.
Day Shift is fucking trash. Do not watch it. If you watch it, you will fucking want to kill yourself. Go watch Buffy. It's actually smart vampire stuff. Goodbye. I love you all. Till next time.
All right. Love you, buddy.
Peace out.
Bye.